So do you wish your child was more confident? Do they seem fearful and just really hesitant to do anything new or try anything new? Well, today I've got a strategy for you that's going to help you to build that confidence and build that belief in your child, whether they're, say, school age, a preteen, or a teenager. So let's check it out. Well, hello everyone. My name is Jim White and I'm an author, coach, and the founder of the Family Enrichment Academy. And today we're going to talk about building confidence within your child. Now, before we go there though, I just want to let you know I do have a free resource for you as well today. It's 10 things you need to stop doing as a parent and then what you can do instead. And if you go to our website, familyenrichmentacademy.com, you'll see that right there on the front page, and you can click on that and download it. So be sure to check that out as well. So let's move on to our question about how to build confidence with your child. So with your child and with you as well, if you think about it, the best way to build confidence is through personal success. You have to do some stuff and feel like you have some success. Unfortunately, you can't just tell them to be more confident. No, they have to have that sense that they've been able to do some things. It's more of an experiential learning type of process. So consequently, what I'm going to recommend that you do is I want you to stop fixing all of their problems. Okay, I'll say that again. Stop fixing all of their problems, and I want you to start handing some of those back to them, which you're going to give them an opportunity to have some success on their own. And then you're going to take on more of an empowerment role. Your goal is going to be able to support them as they go through the process of solving their own problems. Now, they may feel a little uncomfortable at first, but I just encourage you to start small and start stacking those small wins. Give them some stuff, simple stuff back that they can have some success with. Start stacking those wins and then continue to give more and more back to them. So let me share a quick example from our journey as parents that sort of illustrates what I'm talking about here. So one of my sons actually got himself into a little bit of a bind one time while driving. He and a buddy of his decided to actually drag race away from a stoplight. What they didn't know is there happened to be an undercover cop sitting right behind them at the stoplight. So they ended up with a ticket, reckless driving. You can imagine the whole shebang, if you will. So this is an example of when he came home and told us about this, we handed that problem back to him. Our response was, wow, it looks like you've got yourself in a tough spot here. Then you go to empowerment. What are you going to do? What do you need to do now? And so you start asking those questions and guiding their thoughts as they think through it. And in this scenario, it ended up that he needed an attorney and there was going to be a court date. And so again, how are you going to pay for that? And so we just continued to work with him as he worked his way through that difficult circumstance that he had created for himself. And the beautiful thing is, as your child goes through something like this, just like my son did, they start to develop resiliency and resourcefulness, which helps to build that belief, that confidence that I can handle a situation, which then makes it easier for them to step into a new situation or try something that they've never tried before, which circles back to our original goal. How do we build that confidence? So again, you got to start stacking these wins and giving them an opportunity to work through some of these problems so that they have that personal experience and then that personal feeling of I can handle this, and then they start to build belief. So let me give you a few examples of some things you might try, ways to stack and build some of these small wins with your kids. So let's say you have younger kids, things like their morning routine. Give that problem to them. Say, okay, you find a way, you come up with a plan. Let's help you get yourself organized and out the door in the morning. Or maybe that bedtime routine, you can turn that over to them and more of that over to them. Fixing their lunch. Again, look for these opportunities for them to start to take over some of their life, turn that control over to them and turn that problem over to them as well. So again, we're trying to stack those wins. Now, if your child's a little older, they're high school age, start turning some stuff back over to them as well. Let's say they get a bad grade on a test. Hand it back to them. Let them come up with a study plan and a way to deal with that going forward. Or maybe they come home and complain and say they got the worst teacher in the world. Again, hand it back to them. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to get through the class? Let them work through that problem. Maybe they want something. Maybe they want a new pair of sneakers or a car. Well, how are you going to earn the money for this? Again, we're trying to put them in a position to where they go out and they have some accomplishments. They handle some situations on their own. Again, whether they're young or old, the more they do that, the more they're going to have this sense that they are capable, right? And that they are good enough to handle these situations, which starts to build that belief, that internal belief, which then will make them more confident in any situation that they might find themselves in. So there you have it. If you want to start building confidence with your child, again, what I'm going to suggest is you start turning problems back over to them and then taking on that role of an empowerment coach to allow them to get through that situation and build that confidence themselves. So give that a try. Now, before we sign off, I did want to remind you I do have that free resource for you, those 10 things you need to stop doing as a parent and what you can do instead. So be sure to check that out as well at the website FamilyEnrichmentAcademy.com. As always, it's truly an honor to be able to serve and support you as you move along your parenting journey, and it is a journey. And I just want to acknowledge you for having that growth mindset, because that growth mindset is going to be critical to getting through your role as a parent. Until next time, remember, a change in perspective changes everything.